Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Day After Podcast. No, we're not doing
Here
this.
we are with my buddy Joe, and here I am, Neo, and we're gonna talk about Survivor today. All and asking until Joe is in dismay.
This is awful. I hated that. So I'm gonna be honest. I cringed so hard, and I felt just I felt nothing
I
but hate for that moment.
I was like, he's really trying to get Gen Z into this, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I
And doing
was.
it in the old grandpa kind of way.
Yeah, me and my friends literally were like, "Oh, Jeff's about to retire, but he wants to become a meme before that happens." Like that's how it
I
felt.
I saw that sneak preview, and I was like, oh dear, no.
Yeah,
No, why? Jeffy, you're better
yeah.
than this.
Yeah, that's not something that was on my bucket list for for this
We
season.
have we have shredded Mike White rapping Jeff Probst. The
He
multiverse is a strange, crazy place.
so Jeff just wants to become a musician, right? Because he released a song before the season about Survivor 50. Now he's rapping on it, and now we got Zach Brown coming in next week. So it's like,
No, I think Survivor 51 is going to be, they're going to take a page from Total Drama. It's going to be Survivor World Tour.
and you got to sing your voting confessionals and all that stuff too.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, just a bunch of challenges where you have to sing while also solving puzzles and carrying heavy snakes across.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Some
Okay.
motion, but you have to come up with a rap within the rhythm of when you place the balls.
Uh-huh. Uh
You have to hit the verse or finish the verse right when the ball drops. And you
yeah.
have to catch it.
Survivor, if you're listening, know that we're joking and never do this ever.
Well, actually, he's joking.
I'm
I'm Ryan
joking.
Neo Wayne.
Yes.
I do have justice #justice for Q because, as y'all know, Q is one of my favorite contestants, and he got eliminated when he probably shouldn't have. Like
Mhm.
like it is kind of baffling how they kind of got to that conclusion. Granted, he didn't have a vote, so there was really so he was already kind of like a little, what's the right
Mhm.
word? Penalized or not penalized. He was already kind of at a disadvantage there. But even
Yeah.
just how the votes like panned out and stuff, like
Yeah, I mean,
so
I did listen to Q talk in some exit game interviews, and it was a good plan in a way where if all the David versus Goliath voted for him and he got Emily and Ozzy to vote with him for Angelina wouldn't be able to vote. Q already can't vote, so it would have been a 3-2 in a revote, and Angelina would have gone home.
yeah,
Um,
I saw that, and that does make
yeah,
it. No, that's not what I'm
yeah.
talking about. It's like
Yeah.
it's funny because I messaged Joe because Survivor will send out like screenshots and stuff from the new episode, and
Mhm.
they showed us the different like tribe divisions, and I was like, "There's three David versus Goliath here." Angelina's not been edited very well. I'm
Uh-huh.
pretty sure Angelina's going home here because I'm gonna think like, all right, there's at least like, it's a tribe of like six.
Seven.
Ozzy technically has there's
Ooh,
six votes.
yeah.
It's like Ozzy technically has an extra vote. He doesn't necessarily need to play it, but I feel like, if they're seen as a trio, whether it's
Mhm.
now or whether it's at merge, they're gonna get targeted because
Yeah.
that is the big 3-0 of this season.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, this really was Emily Flippin's decision on what happens here. And she's just gotten Christian has wiggled his little mind worm into Emily Flippin right now, where she is too afraid to piss off Christian right now. And so she did something probably not in her best interest. In a world, though, like in her mind, like worst case scenario, Stephanie goes next. Ozzy would then be the next on the chopping block, and she's hoping that then at that point is another swap or a merge. Like she's hoping to get to that like point. Um, but yeah, I mean, you basically she has no control now, kind of moving forward on that tribe. I mean, like she was like telling Ozzy like we can switch over and take one of them out next time. They now have 3 versus 3. Those three are more
unless
likely to not flip on each other.
unless Ozzy uses extra vote or
Extra
idol,
votes.
but it's like,
But he
do
doesn't
you
have the
really
extra
want to?
votes. He doesn't have Suri has it. Remember, he gave
Oh
it to
wait, shit,
Suri.
yeah, that's right.
So it's got to be the idol or nothing.
Yeah, so it's like even then, yeah, I don't know why that could have played out so differently, but like Emily
Yeah,
what looked like she was on board in the beginning.
yeah,
So like we knew there was going to be a tribe swap. The episode was even called "Did You Vote for a Tribe Swap?" We saw it in the trailer for
mm,
the next time on Survivor. And I was so like when I saw like the tribe division. Also, I'm starting to believe that season 51 is the second half of Survivor 50.
oh yeah,
We're 8 days in. We're just over a fourth of the way through,
mm,
and we've only lost 4 people.
yeah,
That means, all right, that was like day 8 where they had that. Day 8 is when Q went out. So they're at 20. They have 18 days left.
you have,
They have to do it. If they're going to do it, they need to do it like now.
yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't had any doubles. They had a 3 hour episode and only 2 people went home. Even that, I was like, wait, really?
And even that was it because of the format was two people were going home that episode. It was one person go home and then a medevac happened. So then they showed us a little bit further for that medevac.
Exactly. So yeah, in this episode, while it was very good and it was cool seeing the other people interact, it does have me like, wait, hold up, what's actually happening here?
Mhm.
That was like a big that was a big question mark at the end of the episode. I'm like, because like when they showed the screenshots, there was only one Phoenix slash chicken
Mhm.
on the little podium next to Jeff. So I'm like, all right, it's either A, he just put the one chicken down, or
Mhm.
B, he handed it off already to the first place tribe, and that's just like a random one there. So
Yeah.
I was speculating we were having a double this episode. Apparently not.
Yeah, I mean, it would have made sense. Yet again, we got to get doubles. The fact that we're not getting a double now in 3 episodes is crazy. Um, I mean, I think at some point we're going to get all 3 tribes going to tribal council in the same episodes.
That would be insane. I do think technically, yeah, possible. Um, that'd be one way to make up time. I don't
Mhm.
think it would be. I don't think it's next episode, mostly
No,
because they have what's his name, Zach Brown,
yeah,
featuring in, and I think that would pretty much overshadow his cameo, I guess.
yeah, exactly. Because if you do that, like we're going to see probably the immunity challenge happen like right away, kind of situation. So that way we can like actually have time to build each tribe's tribal council drama. So unlikely that Zach Brown is then going to take up screen time in the first half of the episode.
Yeah, it would be something like, and also we would be like, all right, here's a survivor first, and then everyone would be like, whoa, someone's head in their hands, stuff like that.
Yeah,
They would be like, it would be something crazy like that.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but no.
But yeah, let's start from the beginning though of this episode. So we get to see Christian and Devins for the last time here for now. Basically, celebrating because they pulled off this heist. Christian's talking about, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for my son to see this and know that he can also pull off grand larceny. Great stuff there. I am so sad that these two are not going to be on my screen next week together because their chemistry when they are on screen playing the game is so electric.
There is their bromance has been probably the best thing in Survivor. Definitely in the new era. I would say I still want this to play out a little bit more.
Yeah,
but it could potentially be the best bromance in the history of the show.
it's up there. I want to say I don't like Amazing Race. Give me Devin and Christian on an Amazing Race season. I'd watch that season.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. But yeah, they successfully planted the idol at Tribal. And yeah, so they were talking about that a bit. Um, and then it's interesting because the next thing we really see is them talking about a potential tribe swap because of tree mail. And
Mhm.
at this point, this is when Christian and Devin's like, we should probably tell people that Aubrey has an idol. And they tell Cerie, and then they're like, oh, we need to tell Emily, but Emily is at camp, and there's no
Mhm.
way to tell her until very much right before the tribe swapped and everything.
Yeah.
And he's like whispering right there on the mat, too, which I'm like, oh my gosh. It also caused like a lot of like distrust with her too. It
Uh-huh.
had like some consequences in that game, in that portion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think if you're in this situation and you aren't able to tell someone right before a swab, I almost think just don't. Because the problem is, and we see it unfold, Emily gets a little untrustworthy of Christian in that moment. Now, obviously, there's enough trust built where she still worked with him in this episode, but she was hesitant. She was ready to flip. She was ready to
And her
instantly.
name.
Exactly. So, this very well could backfire on Christian and blew up his entire game because he had the like, I got to tell her right before the swap. Either you tell her well in advance or you don't tell her. Like those are your two options.
Yeah. Because as we get to the tribe swap and whatever the hell,
No.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like,
Everyone snap. Come on, everyone. Let's snap. Oh yeah.
and when that was happening, it was like, all right, it is smart to let people know, yeah, Aubrey has the idol. That just makes sense.
Mhm.
But funny enough, the people that know about it, apart from Aubrey herself, didn't end up on a tribe with Aubrey.
Yeah.
Um, there was a thing where it was like, oh, the boomerang idol, and then Genevieve does find out about it. It was like, I knew she had one.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was it was kind of crazy
Mhm.
how that all just transpired. And then we got the new tribe dividings. Uh and then yeah, so Emily and Christian, if he only I feel it's like the Murphy's Law thing. It was like, yeah, like if he didn't say something in that moment, Emily wouldn't have been on the same tribe as him, but because he did, they ended up on the same tribe.
Yeah.
That's just how the universe likes to work to cause chaos.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I understand. I think how the Billie Eilish idols are going to work this season is everyone's going to know who has the idols. I mean, we already saw it. It's like it's impossible to keep that stuff a secret because just so many people are going to know about it. So many people are going to talk about it. People are finding this idol and then asking other people what they should do with it. Therefore, meaning everyone is going to know about this idol and who's getting it.
Everyone's been talking about it, and like
Yeah.
even with the so the Callow idol still has not been found yet. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see who finds that and who is the receiver of it. Uh but yeah, there was a lot of as soon as the tribe swapped and everything, now everyone's talking about it. Everyone, like so it'll be interesting to see how the game moves forward as a result. I think it's
Mhm.
interesting, but I also wish there was like a real idol out there because I'd be pretty mad. I made all this work.
Yeah.
I see a boomerang idol and I'm like, all right, that's cool and all, but what about what's something I can use now?
Yeah, exactly. I am not like a huge fan of the boomerang idol as like a concept, because I do think who finds it should have the power to use it. People are also very mad that Genevieve might get screwed because of this boomerang idol where she had to give it to Ozzy, but then Aubrey got it, and now they're on the same tribe together, and they clearly don't like
Yeah,
each other. And Aubrey easily could just idle and save herself and take out Genevieve, and a lot of people are going to be really pissed. It's going to happen if that
I'll
happens.
be one of those people too.
Yeah.
Especially like I liked Aubrey. I just don't like her in this season
uh,
because we haven't she hasn't had like her great moments like she has in, I would say, like obviously her best moments and like what got people behind Aubrey as like a player
mhm.
was back in Co Wrong. We
Yeah.
haven't gotten that. I mean, there is some sympathy there being like, yeah, Survivor is hard,
Yeah.
and I didn't like
Yeah,
but like
but even in that season, when you really think about it, she came into herself in the merge. She was not
yeah.
a pre-merge relationship building kind of player, which is what you need to do to do good in pre-merge seasons. Um, so I do think she can thrive more when it's all about the strategy and it's all about people moving around. Right now, everyone's just trying to get their alliances, and that's just genuinely not been something that she's good at, is like making those social connections that help her get like into a good spot. She's good once people have their like set people, and then she can navigate through it at that point. So
Yeah.
I will still say like we gotta hold out. I think because that's where she shines. She does not shine here. Same with Chrissy. Chrissy was not a great person in pre-merge seasons, by the way. On her season, she had a pretty bad pre-merge game, and then came into herself later on into the season.
Speaking of that, there was a whole thing where, oh, Chrissy was on the same tribe as Coach again.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this tweet, because there was a collection of like memes and stuff. And then someone said, it's bad when Coach is saying you're talking too much.
Mm-hmm.
Uh which was like, no, as a fellow chatterbox, I'm like, I get it, but it's like, oh damn. But how that kind of like transpired, because I feel like Coach definitely found his people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he but the fact that is like it's so much how you tell people stuff.
Yeah.
um and like Chrissy even said, it was like, oh, Coach said that I talk too much. When people say blanket statements like that, people are gonna be like, oh well, Coach is doing this now. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, when that's not really the case at all. It's like, no, Coach wants to work with Chrissy. He even
Mm-hmm.
said in his confessionals, like, people wanted Chrissy out, but I wasn't for that. And then, he was like, but I do have to like let Chrissy know, like, hey, people were targeting you because of this. We gotta, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But still, I do think, yeah, it was a bad look for Coach by how he said it. Like Coach had, I thought, like a pretty decent premiere, but every episode I feel like he's just like nose diving in terms of potential winner for me, where I'm just like, I don't know if that's how they would want to show our winner by having him do
it's
this right now.
it's something where, yes, I mean, like, I feel like he's still getting content.
Yeah.
And like, he found kindred spirits with Joe, which I feel like, yes, those two needed to
Yeah.
be on a tribe.
I think he can still go deep. I thought he had a legit winner chance after the first episode. That is no longer, he's no longer in my legit winner like pool.
I would say the one thing that interests me, let me pull up the tribe divisions again, because there was
Mhm.
like basically a Brochachos alliance that was formed between him, Joe,
And
and
Colby, I think.
Colby. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like the older dudes, the older dudes, the dads and stuff like that. They were like, yeah, let's get together and like,
Mhm.
old school rules. And then we bring in Chrissy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we'll see. Then again, I feel like this team is very well rounded, so I don't know how often they will go. But if your
Mhm.
theory is correct and there's going to be a triple tribal, we'll see where the chips lie, especially since it seems like between Aubrey and Genevieve, like that seems
Yeah.
like going to be like the main focus as of now.
Yeah, and I mean, we literally just saw Tiff say she wants to work with Aubrey, but also is good enough with Genevieve, where Genevieve told her about all that stuff. So I feel like Tiff is absolutely going to be the one to like spill the beans to Aubrey if votes are coming towards her.
Yeah, which is sad because I'm like, no, Genevieve, no.
Yeah, which by the way, Tiffany doubled her confessionals tonight or in this last
She
episode.
did,
She got one more confessional.
which is still sad. It's like, no. Because I look at them too after the fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then over at the Sela tribe, Devins and Suri kind of stick there, and Rizzo and I'd say the biggest takeaway is Rizzo and Charlie. There's a bit
Hmm.
more focus on Rizzo being, uh, the new kid that nobody knows about, and then Suri being like, now I'm on a tribe with Riz God.
Okay.
Yeah, which I'm like, okay, that was pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
Which and then Rizzo is trying to bro out with Charlie, and like it seems like like oh yeah, like in the preview, I was like, yeah, they would be a good duo.
Mhm.
But then Rizzo says something the night before. They have a little flashback
Yeah.
of him being like, yeah, I really, really liked Sophie and stuff. And then we're like, oh, did you vote for her? No. And then like it was one of those things where, and someone brought it up just to, I think, stir the pot a little bit. It was like, oh, kind of like how, you know, uh, Maria didn't vote for, I'm
Charlie.
forgetting his name,
Charlie.
Charlie and stuff. So I'm pretty sure that was like fans on the fire there. And you even see Charlie
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I'm starting to have a little baggage. I don't want him to make the merch now
Yeah, which is also
after that.
hilarious because we know how the edit was, and Rizzo was way more of the ally to Savannah than Soph.
Yeah,
Um,
they were day ones.
yeah, yeah. Whereas Soph and
Maybe
I
day zeros or day -1, depending if you believe.
yeah, well, and I think the reason why it was like talking about how Rizzo was good friends with Soph was because D knew Soph before the season. So that's that because I heard D like talk was the one talking about it. So like, oh, did you like Soph? Or like, how did Soph do? And so Rizzo obviously was so allies with her, so he talked her up. Didn't clarify necessarily about his closest ally of Savannah. Maybe he was afraid also a bit of like his perception of him and Savannah being on the same season, even though Savannah's gone. The
Yeah,
idea
I
that
mean,
like that they had brought these two who wasn't maybe it was like, oh, those two were controlling the game if that had come out. So that was maybe like the fear that someone was in that long instead of him just being like the goofy guy, which he's trying to kind of portray.
well, I mean,
So
he is the goofy guy, but like
yeah, but
sometimes you do try and play that up to lower your threat level.
and he's definitely. I mean, he's trying. He's not getting a lot of content though. I'm still shocked. Like I definitely thought we would be seeing more of the Riz God. Um, but he's like
It's
getting kind of steady-ish content, but like he's
it's
not
like
really a
two per episode basically,
yeah.
which is funny because D on the other hand is getting one confessional per episode.
Yeah, just barely showing her and then saying we're good.
Hmm.
This episode, by the way, had I think 8 people who had one confessional. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 people with one confessional. So there weren't any people getting skunked in this episode, but they did give a lot of people just like, here they are. Okay, now you're done.
Like, and I kind of get that in the sense of like, all right, you have a tribe swap, you don't have as much time as you did in the last one, and plus they're still doing this with 21 people, so it is very
Mhm.
much there's a lot of things you have to get through. Then you also have the challenge, and then you have tribal council and stuff like that. So it's like I know there's only so much time. There's only so much screen time to go around. You have to kind of prioritize like what's more relevant in the moment.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, I do want to see more from Rizgat because I think he was probably one of the better characters of the new era. Now that Q's gone, that new era character role has to get filled, I think. Um,
hashtag just I'm wearing my Q skirt
uh,
for fun fact over on over on the Tribe of Nerds podcast I did I helped with the recap of Survivor 46
mhm.
and I also I guess I should I well it's in that Joe if you want to post it or like insert it here but it's like me explaining to my girlfriend Erin about the Q skirt and it is hilarious. She's like, that's not a real thing. And I'm like, yes, it is
Yes,
in
yes.
Survivor.
Yeah, it was iconic. I mean, we got it even in this episode. Q sported the Q skirt as well. So
Well, to quote Captain America, if you're going to war, you got to put on a uniform.
yeah. We yeah, I mean they did try to give us a little bit of the Q greatest hits, because we also got a cancel Christmas confessional as well. So
Yeah.
they tried to like kind of say, here, we're gonna just kind of jam pack things in here. I mean he is, when we get to confessional we'll get even more, but he has the third most confessionals at this point.
Yeah.
So he was a very much big presence on what is currently a great season. So we got to still give the props to Q. He comes out there and he's entertaining. Is he a great player? No. He makes
I think he
blunders.
is. It was, I feel like with this one, it was very much he just got swap screwed. Um,
Uh,
I feel like if things kind of like panned out a little different and he still added his vote, it wouldn't have been it would have been a very different outcome. He even said in like some exit interviews, like, no, he was playing very much different this time around.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But everything you hear from Q, you gotta take with a grain of salt.
I mean, we did see it in the edit. At the very least, it was like, all right, we weren't seeing. Granted, it's different circumstances because
Mhm.
like he wasn't necessarily the one. He was playing more of a, from what we saw here, more of a we game, not just a me game.
Yeah,
Granted, only like 3 episodes of that, but
yeah.
like
I mean, that was his strategy in early days of 46 until, and even like him giving up his game, that was him trying to play a Wii game in a way. And then after that, that was when he became the chaotic Q. Um,
true, but like he was always calling the shots. He
yeah.
very much had final say on who goes home.
I mean, I think it's up to debate. I think he had a loud voice, and sometimes loud voices seem like they shine through the most.
That is fair.
Yeah,
That is fair.
yeah.
But
Okay. What else? So I mean, we can get to the challenge, I suppose. I
well, I mean, when they had the swap, and this is a big portion of the episode. Also, hi Emily, if you're watching. But yeah, like so because Emily was like thrown off by Christian just saying this randomly at the last minute, she was like, you know what? I can't trust Christian, so I'm just gonna go
Mhm.
over and I'm gonna, partner up with Stephanie and Q. And then she was like, you know what? Maybe, like they have a different play style than me. I'm gonna go over, I'm gonna go over to Christian and be like, whoopsie, I kind of spilled the beans about like the boomerang idol, all this stuff, and what you told me.
Yeah.
And then and then now they're like, because there's very much a whole thing about the elephant in the room is you have the three people from David versus Goliath, and Mike and Angelina being the closest out of those two.
Mhm.
And then we even get to see a clip from the White Lotus, being on the show as well, like Angelina's like cameo there.
Yeah.
Uh, like they're known to be tight. And it is still kind of surprising. I am a little surprised that Christian was like to get some heat off of him when been like, okay, yeah, we will go Angelina for this one. Um, but no, he's like, all right, this is still salvageable. Emily hasn't like done anything crazy, crazy yet. I can still work with this. And he did.
Mhm.
And he still kept that alliance intact,
Mhm. Yeah.
for better or worse.
Yeah, I mean, Christian yet again getting everything he wants out of tribal council. Christian, Ozzy, and Emily have already got their experience at tribal council. They have gone enough to where they are now seasoned veterans of Survivor 50 tribal councils. Um, and yeah, Christian, he gets to save his relationship with Emily and Ozzy, and he gets his David versus Goliath people. I mean, at the end of the day, that is like that's what he wanted. That's literally the perfect scenario. I also think it's hilarious that Mike White like knows so many people. Like he even knows Ozzy. Like he used to go
Yeah.
to this restaurant that he managed. So it was basically I'm gonna have it's going to be crazy to see honestly any of those people going out. So I just and any of the David versus Goliath people, I just think that they are in such a good spot on that tribe, unless Ozzy gets a feeling with his idol. Like that's probably the only way I see any one of those three going out.
Yeah. Stephanie is probably in the worst position.
Yeah,
The thing is with Ozzy, like they might be like, all right, Emily, just so you know you're like in, who do you actually want to get rid of? And then like she's been targeting Ozzy for a while. The thing is,
mm-hmm.
with the three of them, because it is those three, and then Ozzy was like even like playing up a little more. It's like, yeah, I didn't even win the the resources challenge, the materials. And so like he was like, I've done nothing but lose this season.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, they've been on a terrible losing streak right now. And it's like if it continues, it's like, like who do you go after? Because
Yeah,
like, some people get a little superstitious and was like, is it really? Like is it them? Should we get rid of one of them? Because it feels like
yeah.
it might be a them thing.
Yeah, but it's not even like Ozzy's fault for these challenges. Like,
No.
there's a lot more here, like other people having to step up in certain situations. I mean, like Suri obviously in episode one had that one that basically is the reason that they lost that first challenge. The second one was Ozzy was there too, but Christian did not know how to talk to Ozzy. And that's what we see even in this episode. Christian does not know how to communicate with his with some of the people who are like stronger, like Ozzy and Q. He just is not able to like properly get them to do what he wants because he's talking in a more like he's trying to think more smarter about it, and he's using words that maybe they don't fully know, or it's they're having to think about the words a little bit before they do it.
Yeah. They're like, well, he specifically said rotated 180 degrees and then they
Yeah,
flipped it. And then he was like, no, don't flip it.
yeah,
So it's like sometimes like that, but like, when you're blindfolded and there's pressure and stuff like that, you just kind of go with, your instincts on what you're trying to gauge from them.
yeah.
So yeah, as soon as like obviously one team, the orange team finally won a challenge. Granted, they changed up the roster quite a bit,
Yep.
but they get immunity, and then it's basically a race for second place. But they Chrissy's team was able to like pull out the W, being like because she was able to articulate it better.
Yep, exactly. And Christian definitely takes it pretty hard. Also, I want to give a quick shout out before we leave this. Riz got taking that pretty nasty bump where he throws it up and
Yeah.
then it just comes landing right here on him. Oh
I
man,
mean, they did
I
the smart thing and said, cover your head. I mean,
yeah,
there was a moment where, you know, Colby just like bat and not like bashed his head into the log, but hit it pretty hard on the log like he was supposed to duck under. It is a
mhm,
little thing where like in the heat of the challenge, yeah, sometimes you forget stuff like that, but like Chrissy kind of let that happen. It was like, oh wait, yeah, they can't see. All right, keep your heads low, keep your heads low. Sorry,
mhm.
Colby.
Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, you do have to put up. I mean, I don't think we've seen the blindfold challenge where you have to like throw something up into the air because that
No.
that definitely has a chance for danger happening. Riz got experience like a little bit of it, but it could have been worse. So you definitely had to send, I think, some of the people who are ready to take a bump for that one. Like you cannot send someone who, if they get hit, they're gonna like fall over and be out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is very much a challenge where people bump into so many stuff. They're bashing
Yeah,
knees, they're
yeah.
like
Th-
guys are
this
getting hit in their cojones.
this is the challenge I would never want to do on Survivor. Just because, first off, I'm not good enough to be a caller. I would struggle a lot with that. So I'd have to be blindfolded, and I would absolutely lose my balls during this challenge. I would be hitting everything. Okay, I have some terrible luck. I know
You're
I'm
you're
gonna hit the
too
corner of everything.
you're too funny too. You are very it would
Yeah.
be like a Three Stooges sketch up.
Oh yeah, no. There's been a few times where someone's literally getting dragged basically and just constantly hitting things. That's going to be me. I'm going to be bumping my head. I'm going to be hitting my crotch and everything.
Yeah. That one I wouldn't mind, but at the same time, I've done blindfolded challenges before, and like obviously I know how to like call and like articulate stuff.
Mhm.
But no, that one there's always a montage, and then there's always like 5 or 10 seconds of just like people bumping into stuff, and then they usually top it off with a nut shot.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that one where you had to throw it up in the air, that did cost the Pink Tribe the ability to end up winning because like it just kind of like flew very far away.
Uh-huh.
And it is, I do want to also mention some of the contestants on there think that it's pink as well. So I'm not just crazy.
Yeah. No. It really I think depends on the shades, like how the lighting is hitting it. It's a lot like that dress meme that happened years ago, where like in certain lights it can look one color, the other color for others.
It's a little different because white gold versus black and blue, those are two very, very different colors, or four to very different colors, whereas this is like
I mean,
just
pink and
depending on the
purple.
shading.
They're
Yeah.
they're 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 kind of different, but I mean, I get it. I think it also very much depends on how it's like how you're looking at it. Like if I'm on the Survivor wiki, I would still consider that like purple. But sometimes when it's out there on the island and sun's hitting it, it looks lighter, and so then it becomes like it looks like it's pink.
Oh yes. Either way,
Yeah,
that tribe.
yeah,
But yeah, so theirs flew a little too far away and they had trouble finding it. And then like even when you're the caller, it's like you have to try and find it on the ground from even if you have that vantage point.
uh-huh.
Uh and they're also trying to control three different people as well, or three different pairings. So
Yeah.
that's a tricky challenge. And yeah, so the purple pink tribe did not get the W there and they had to go to tribal.
Yep,
Um
exactly. So, and yeah, I mean, we already kind of talked about how a lot of that's kind of transpired. I mean, yeah, it was definitely Emily's decision here. I don't think it was the right decision. Um, but at the end of the day, she kind of had the say of what happened.
yeah, it's like you just needed to have broken up that. Well, I would say like even if you're not worried about them being a trio, worry about the duo of like Mike White and Angelina. Especially
Yeah,
like I feel like there were a lot of and I like Angelina. I think she's
yeah,
very entertaining. But like, if I'm on a tribe and it's like I love entertaining people, but at the same time it's like this is Survivor 50.
yeah.
Who
Yeah,
knows if we have doubles or triples coming up. We have to, like we have to keep the tribe strong.
yeah, take out Angelina and then work with Christian and Mike White and Ozzy next round to do Q if you guys go again, because at least you're separating that trio, that power that essentially now has control of the tribe.
Mhm.
Whereas if you separate that, then you can kind of go back and be like, hey, Christian, I'm sorry, I couldn't trust Angelina. We had to do something about that. I'm still with you. Let's go for Q.
Yeah. That and that's not just us being biased. Like as soon as I
Yeah,
saw that, I was like, "Oh, they're dead in the water," but apparently not.
yeah,
And it is it is tough too because it's like it's not just like if Emily went against Christian, she's not just losing Christian, she will lose Devins as well because like
yeah,
I don't know how much they're advertising it on the island, but it's very apparent to us. So, like, unbeknownst to her, she might be like that entire trio might break up, and sometimes guys stick together more afterwards, and so like it'd be like, oh, like it might even be like a thing back behind. I might be the third in this trio,
yeah.
because like these two seem pretty tight.
Exactly, exactly. I don't know if you saw in one of the exit things that Q did, but yeah, I guess Ozzy told Q that he gave his extra vote to Joe.
Joe,
To Joe.
interesting,
Yeah, that was apparently what he told him, and Q apparently immediately clocked and was like, "This guy's lying to me."
because that does seem pretty random. But like yeah, Q has a pretty decent like at times. I would say
Yeah,
it's selective. Sometimes has a pretty decent like bullshit detector. But then
yeah.
again, Ozzy has never been known for his
No,
deceit.
he's a bad
He's a pretty
liar. He
straightforward dude.
he admitted. I mean, we've seen him lie on Survivor before, like in South Pacific. That was a very notorious bad lie where he was trying to say like, "Oh, I'm coming for them." He was trying to act like he was so mad that he got voted out, um, and like no one bought it. So it's not impossible to see Ozzy lie and immediately recognize it.
Yeah. Uh but that all went transpired and then it was like, you know, yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything. Stephanie was very much like, people are saying they're going to vote for Angelina. Are they telling the truth? I don't know. Only time will tell, really.
Yeah, exactly. That was definitely a bit of an old school mentality from Stephanie here, of just kind of like, okay, you were selling me this. Okay, let's see what happens. I feel like a new school player is a lot more like trying to constantly make sure everything is good, but she was a little more like, okay, I'm not going to push it. Let's just see where the dice roll. Um,
Yeah.
and obviously she was the only one who was on the other side of the votes.
Yeah. We'll see if her number one going home kind of lights a fire under her.
Mhm.
Um, because like it is very much sink or swim at this point. It's like she would be the next easy choice out.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I still think. I mean, we heard Emily talk about wanting to make a move against the Davers guys next time. It's just it literally is going to come down to if she tells Ozzy where the votes are, and then Ozzy plays his idol.
yeah. I know we saw something on the next time on Survivor. See Mike White chilling in the ocean and then, looking up at Christian and like, are you actually with us or
Yeah, yeah. Also, potential bad for Mike White because he got the puppet master kind of line. And in Survivor, people who usually get a puppet master or a godfather, like once that's kind of gets put on you at a certain point, you're out. You're like that is that's like doomsday like title to give someone because it's like they love doing that right when someone's about to get voted out because then it's just like, haha, this person thought they were in control. Guess what? Survivor. It's different.
yeah, it's well, I mean, this game is always changing and like I don't know, like he is because like how like he pretended to play badly with being like, honestly, Stephanie, I'm probably going to vote for you.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that's very like bad gameplay, but that's like pretending to do bad gameplay. Be like, all right, yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
going to say it's like her to her. just
Yeah.
so there's no like lying deceit and I look like, oh, innocent and stuff like that. And so like, it did come genuine from it. This is why actors are dangerous in Survivor because like like Mike White, he's very good at playing with kind of like the nervous guy,
Mhm.
the nervous nerdy guy. And like he had me going. I was like, oh wait, he's actually saying that out loud. That's pretty gutsy.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have to see. Maybe he'll divert the puppet master thing, or maybe something else will happen that keeps him alive. Like his edit is definitely way better than Angelina, so it makes you go like he should be further than Angelina at least, right?
Yeah, I would say that. It's very well, I mean,
But
like you said, when
also,
someone
yeah,
when someone gets a goose egg, it's not a good sign for good side for them.
yeah, but also you can get goose eggs and get to like final five. Like you can still go pretty deep with like a bad edit, um and you can go out early with a good edit.
That is definitely fair. Though I will say like placement is always nice. However, when it comes to winning,
Winning.
that's what we usually look at and speculate. And when we're not
Yeah.
getting too much good material from you,
Oh yeah, I mean
or if
Angelina's
like
not winning. That's for
yeah,
sure. I mean there's a lot of people at episode 2 especially gave us so many people who just can't win this game. Whether it's they got goose eggs or they're being edited like just like making them look like they got egg on their face the whole time like Joe.
or shit in their pants.
Yeah, or shit in their pants. Um, so yeah, there's definitely a lot, and I feel like we're constantly just seeing like the people who are just not going to win get little content or nothing. So it is what it is. I am still curious to see who wins because there isn't like a this person is clearly the winner.
I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, is this time for the count, the confessional count?
It sure is. Take it away.
All right. Here on this channel, we talk about the confessional count because we value screen time on this channel.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so Q went out with the third most confessionals on the season so far at 18 confessionals.
It should have passed the Banu bar.
Banu Bar. Okay, and we now have a tie for first place between Christian and Ozzy at 23 confessionals.
Yes. Ozzy had 19 his first episode, and then he's been getting a solid two each time. But like Christian is very much the main character right now.
Oh yeah.
So like he's getting like he's pretty much getting like all the confessionals, all the little sound bites,
He's
tidbits.
the storyteller of the season, so much so that he even stepped in on Mike White's story and took it over.
Yeah, I knew there's a reason I really
uh
we could potentially be a well, Christian is way smarter than me, but like we could be Christian Hibiki and Rick Devens from Timu. Just
yeah, 100%. That if we ever played a game, that is exactly how we would be playing.
yes, yes.
uh okay. So next up we got a tie here with Genevieve and Rick at 14 confessionals.
Pretty solid, decent,
Mhm.
decent edit so far for both of them.
Yeah, yeah. But interesting to note, yeah, there's a 9 confessional gap between them and the people in the front row right now.
That is true.
Hmm.
Very true.
Okay, next up we got Emily at 13 confessionals.
It's a giant episode for her.
Yeah, oh yeah, no. She had 2 confessionals in the first two and then yeah, she had 9 in this one. So I mean, yeah, she was main character of this episode.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, next up we got Mike at 12 confessionals.
Makes sense.
Pretty good, pretty
I feel
good.
like he gets an extra one because he had his TV show on Survivor.
Yeah, exactly. That should also count as a confessional for him. Okay, next up we got a tie between Coach and Suri at 11 confessionals.
Makes sense.
They're being shown, but not too much. This episode, Coach only got one confessional, so he was
Yeah, he was. Well, I mean, it feels like for this one, they do seem to be following the drama, and
yeah,
the drama really, really came from the Vatu tribe this time
yeah.
around.
Yeah, well, and Coach's drama was him trying to coach Chrissy and it coming off wrong. So it also just
Yeah,
was more about Chrissy than Coach.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next up we got Joe at 10 confessionals.
All right.
Yeah, I believe he also only got one confessional. Yeah. And then next up we got Stephanie and Aubrey at 8 confessionals.
Okay.
And then next up, we got a four-way tie at several confessionals between Colby, Charlie, Jonathan, and Rizgod.
Yeah. We're starting to very much trickle down.
Yeah, exactly.
But and also if you have less than this, it's like, oh dear God.
Yeah, it is not a good sign. Because next up, we got Angelina at 5 confessionals.
Feels like most of them came from this episode. And
Yeah,
it didn't
oh,
even do it was like didn't she get three episodes the
yeah,
first episode?
yeah. So she got
Yeah.
3 in the premiere and then 2 in this episode. So even when she was
Crazy.
in danger, she only got 2.
Yeah. She did get her they did show her cameo, but
Yeah,
I
true.
digress.
Um, and then next up, we got Chrissy at 4 confessionals.
Very bad sign.
Not great, not great, but it's better than Dee and Camilla, who each have 3 confessionals.
That's that's so yeah,
They're
I
averaging
would
a
be very
confessional an
disappointed.
episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, that's exactly what Dee is. She's
Yeah.
just like she has one thing to say each episode.
Exactly. And then Tiff with the most impressive number here at 2 confessionals, which I feel
You
so
got
bad for her because she's the person who was coming in here who needed to impress people because she was the biggest WTF. Why is she on this cast? And then she's just not getting content, which makes people like feel like that they were right in saying why was she cast.
Yeah, which I feel bad for. I met her a couple times. She's really cool.
Yeah. Um so yeah, those are the confessional counts. Okay, MVPs and LVPs. This is tough because I want to give Emily the MVP, but I also don't think it was the right move. So I'm like,
I don't think it was the right move, and I think the way she went about it, like if some people were less forgiving, it would have been her.
yeah,
Because like granted she was good and like Christian understood like, all right, I need Emily, but there are some I like that was able to fly on this season. I can see it with some other like casts and stuff that not going well.
yeah,
So I say like she ended up with a lot of power at this episode, but at the same time, I'm like, I will say part of it was, like that could have gone south, but at least she recognized what to do. But I
mhm.
wouldn't say I would give it to her either. Um,
See, the other option, in my opinion, is Christian, but he also, in my opinion, made a fumble where he told Emily right at the tribe swap, and it potentially could have backfired on him, and maybe even lost further like long term trust with Emily because of it.
uh, I don't know. It's really tough because we're still also trying to figure out where the head is for everyone else as well
Yeah.
when it comes to like the tribe dynamics.
Mhm.
Uh
Yeah, to be fair, I really don't think there's anyone who like has a perfect
Shines.
like there's nothing you can say wrong about them in this.
I will say I will give it not to a person, but to the new CeeLo tribe for breaking their losing streak curse.
Oh god, I thought you were gonna say you're gonna give it to Jeff Probst for his rap.
No. That might be a contender for LVP, but
LVP, yeah.
LVP, it's tough to say because I would say that some of the moves that were made this episode, we don't
Mhm,
know what the payoff will be.
mhm.
Uh I don't I don't know. I also don't want to jinx anyone because I could say one notable thing is Genevieve was very open about wanting to get rid of well, there's actually a few notable things. Genevieve being very open about wanting to get Aubrey when Jenna Lewis did almost the same thing earlier. And it's kind of funny too because Jonathan and Dee were talking about getting rid of Sari, and like they're like that's the only bit of content we got from them from that tribe swap. It was like so I don't know. I really don't know who to give it to. Maybe I will give it to, and this pains me to do Stephanie just purely because I think she has a very uphill battle and she has to switch it right now.
Yeah. I'm not gonna give it to him, but I do think Q. I can see the rationale for it. I know like the process of him getting votes to then have the split vote, and but also he was telling people to vote for him. Sometimes that's just like a
He
recipe for
also
disaster.
didn't have a vote either, so there was only so much he could do in the situation.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, I still think there could have been ways to play around it, to where at least it's not him. Maybe even
Well, I mean,
throwing
like
Stephanie under the bus would have been better for him.
the thing is, he flat out like he didn't know he wasn't privy to it, but like they were going to vote for him anyway.
Yeah, yeah, I know, but still, I think he should have tried to get anyone but him. Like he should have been pitching more that they need him for challenges so they don't lose the next one. Because I'll be honest, without Q, that tribe's going to have trouble in challenges. Like
Yes.
that is a huge loss, and the tribe swap just happened. It's not like they've had a couple of tribal councils already under their belts. Like there's still a good amount of pathway that they're going to be on these tribes. So taking out Q this early on could honestly send them back to back to back to back.
It very well may be the case, especially because we need these doubles.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my original theory was right, and it's a two-parter season because I just don't see how else. We're the
we're
math isn't mathing.
we're gonna be at day 23, and it's gonna be the finale, and it's gonna be 10 people left in the game.
Yes, at this, yeah. But no, we're gonna need some doubles. I'm pretty sure we're losing one person because of Mr. Beast's briefcase. There would be like, oh, you're eliminated, something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that's happening. Which I do think now it's going to be at the auction. I think Mr. Beast is going to be like at the merge or the episode after the merge now.
That would be, I think, episode after because they may not want to take away from the merge, and they also want to shine more of a light on Mr. Beast.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised though if it's also like an earn the merge, or it's the last person that just misses out on the jury, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have to see on that. But yeah, for me, LVP, um, yeah, I'm gonna give it to Coach. I do think it was a bad look for him. I think this was the most damning in terms of winner edit. Even like last week, he had some goofiness, but I was like, this is maybe how you would edit Coach if he does win. This one felt a little more like, oh, coach is putting his foot in his mouth. He's saying things the wrong way, and he doesn't know he's doing that. He thinks he's doing the right thing, and that is never
Yeah.
a good sign if that's how someone's being edited.
And I do feel like it did benefit Chrissy a lot because she
Mm-hmm.
was like, like
Yeah,
because she was like a little emotional, and then the guys want to work with her, and then she was aside, and I believe it was Tiff and Genevieve that were like right there. It was like, "Are you good?" and stuff like that, and then she was like,
yeah,
like being consoled like that, and then especially when it's something like likability.
yeah.
I'm not gonna say that when that stuff comes up, it's strategy because it does come from like a genuine place of like being hurt and stuff, and you need to talk to someone out there about it. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel after that, she's probably going to be safe because now she can, like through that bonding experience, she won't be targeted.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think kind of gave up coach's like positioning control there with that, even though he was in his mind thinking he was doing the right thing. But so if you can do the right thing, but do it the wrong way.
Oh yeah, it's like the title of my book.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that does it here. I think we are now 3 episodes into the season. How you feeling? Is this still best episode of the new era, or
No, I don't think it's the best.
best season?
Yes, it definitely is. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of like stuff going on. There's a lot of like great players and the gameplay. Uh Albeit like this one, while it wasn't bad idea for certain players to go this route,
Mm-hmm.
it was good strategy and they were able to pull it off where, David Goliath 3 is still together. Christian pretty much got his way. And then, it also set up a lot of like plot points that I think are going to be very interesting to come up in the future, not just next episode, but like
Yeah.
further down the line as well.
Yeah, like for me, I'd say episode 1 was like a 10 out of 10 episode. So episode 2, I think, was like a 9.5. It was really good. I enjoyed it. This one, I'd probably say is closer to like a 7.5 out of 10. Like it was still decent. I enjoyed it. Um, but it was it wasn't hitting the highs that those first 2 episodes were having. It was like
Yeah.
it was a serviceable like pre-merge episode where I'm not mad about it happening. There was some good stuff in it, but I'm probably going to still be looking fondly on those other 2 episodes way more than this episode.
I'd probably give the premiere a 9.5. Just and that point 0.5 is purely because, medevac. And so like that just kind of like always it's like I can't give it a full 10 just out of principle.
I
Then
can.
episode well, you're the chaos gremlin. Episode 2, I'd probably give a 9. This one, maybe like I'm usually generous with my ratings anyway, but I would still say it was like an 8, where I'm like, this was still, I would think, a good episode. Um, but yeah, it does go down a little bit because one of my faves gets eliminated.
Yeah, I'm unbiased. It has nothing to do with that. I was telling my friends also that Q is their favorite new era player, and they lost a little bit of respect for you. Um,
I don't think I have a lot of that to begin with.
yeah. Okay. With that being said, thank you all for watching, and we will see you all in the next one.
Peace.